So tonight, you're getting a new edition. Let's go right into it right now. Let's focus on the new release. The new version is 992.4. And the link is on the left-hand side inside of Discord. Or if you are new with us, haven't downloaded it before, you need to fill out the form. But if you are a premium member, left-hand side on Discord, you can go into the members section and look for the premium download, and that will take you directly to the download link. So I already have that downloaded right here. That's what the installer file looks like, AlgoBox 9924. Now, do not think this is the same. If you have done our installs before, you know there are 3 primary installations. Let's go through those here real quick, but before we do that, first things first, always, on every release, you don't even have to ask. Yes, you need to uninstall the old versions first. The best way to do that, go into your Documents folder on your PC, Windows, go to Documents, and then go to the NinjaTrader 8 folder, and under NinjaTrader 8, our AlgoBox components are going to be in there, and you will find install files in here. Now, you could have just one of these, or in my case, you can tell on this machine that I'm on right now, I have 2 components installed. We have the AlgoBox Pro Gold, and I have the Enigma pack. I will need to run both of these on installers in order to remove them. Now, once you run these, they will actually remove the file as well. You might also, if you did the auto bot pack, if you have the bot pack on your PC as well, you might have a 3rd file here. Go ahead and run all 3 of those. Now, that will change after this release. This is the major release where all of this changes. You will have a single installer, and I'll show you the options as you go through the installer so that you get what you have joined with. You could have standard or Enigma bot pack, or the full auto bot pack, which will include all the good stuff. And of course, platinum members, you have a separate installer. We talk about that separately in the platinum members only section. Okay, so let's go ahead, and first I'm going to run the uninstaller. You'll get that notice that says this program will uninstall. We'll go ahead and run that. Now, don't be alarmed at the end of the installation. It does take you to our website in case you needed to go and download it. So mine is popping off on my left-hand screen over there. You can just close out your browser, and I'm going to run it one more time here. And there we go. It has popped up on the left-hand side, and you'll notice now all of my AlgoBox files are now gone from my NinjaTrader 8 folder, so that's good news. We can actually close out of that folder now, and you'll just need to go over there. Once you've got the download file on your machine, we're just going to double-click and run it. Now, there is be very attentive to the options selection as you go through the new installer, because you will need to select the one that is appropriate for you. This window right here. So it's about, I believe I had to click twice through. So this section right here is now going to become more important. Now, it looks the same, but there are some differences if you've seen the old screenshots from this selection menu. This is different. Please help us out. Those who are having trouble later this week, you will need to do the update before contract rollover this Friday. I'm going to repeat that. Make sure you guys share this with the room. Before contract rollover coming this Friday, which would be September the 15th. So either Thursday night or Friday morning before that contract rollover, you'll want to do this. NinjaTrader's made some changes. Basically, there are some breaking items in there that you'll need to make sure you get updated before the 15th. So share that with the crew. Make sure other people know that. You can start doing your install today. As long as you are doing it before Friday, you will be okay. All right. If you have any issues, of course, we have technical support on the left-hand side. Now, I want to install all of them, so I'm simply now going to select the last selector right here. Now, that is going to install everything above it. So that's what's important. This is the new change, and we'll do an official video around this. But tonight, I wanted everybody who was coming on here with us on a Mentorship Monday to just go ahead and know that this is now additive. You only need to run the installer one time. So who's excited about that? You guys are excited about only having to having to install one time. Type a 1 in the chat. If you're going to miss having to run the installer 3 times, type a 3. All right, while we're at it, make sure you smash that like button for us. Let the algorithm know. And, of course, the ICT chumps that were the best. All right, thanks, guys. And gals. So I'm going to go ahead and select this bottom selection, and it's going to install everything on my machine. All the workspaces, all the tools, all the strategies, the Enigma pack, the Enigma bot panel. What else? Everything but Platinum. Platinum members, you guys will also only have to do a single installation, but you have a separate installer and all the protections around Platinum, as you guys know already. All right, let's see. George, I see somebody in the chat said, already got installed. George, type me in the chat. Did you know about only installing one of those and not all three? Be careful. You'll have redundancy and it'll be a little bit slower if you installed all three. Now, it's not the end of the world, but yes, I'll show you how to check that here now. We're ready to go. So that's it. I am going to launch NinjaTrader. We also have a new format. Very important. As this comes up, you will need to click yes. If you don't authorize, well, we're starting back over at the beginning. You're going to have to deal with a bunch of stuff inside of NinjaTrader, and it's just not fun. So make sure you select yes to authorize the add-ons. The new one, you might be used to the 5-chart layout. Let me switch to full screen here. This will be easier to see. So I'm on a 4K screen. You might be on a 4K, maybe you're on a 2K. Everybody's got different workspaces. So we have tried to create some workspaces that will be appropriate for your layout. And then again, you can always move your charts around, but please, if you have your own layout, you're going to need to apply our settings. Vitally important. I'm going to show you a couple ways to do that here tonight in case you don't want to have to move everything around, although I still recommend if you have any issues before you start dropping things into tech support, it would be wise for you to go ahead and start with our workspaces and rearrange your stuff, okay? But I will show you a way to do that without it. If you want to keep your charts where they're located, you'll just need to apply our appropriate template for the chart that you are using. Now, you might have fully customized yours, and at that point, I can't really help you with that one, okay? So let's go. I've got some extra ones in here from my own stuff, so you have to ignore some of these, but here's the light. Let's go to standard 1080p. This is what you are probably used to seeing. I'm gonna go ahead and do contract rollover, although I really don't want to do that until Friday, so I'll probably switch that back. But let's zoom this in here. So this is the standard. Oh, I didn't connect there. Let's get that connected as well. George, did you run it 3 times? That's all right. Yeah, you may want to uninstall those and just run it 1 time. So the way you'll be able to tell, if you click here on Tools and go to Remove NinjaScript Assembly, so what you'll notice is now I only have 1. Now you probably, because you installed all 3, you're going to have 3 little listings in here, so just be careful that it could cause some issues, so I wouldn't do that. But if you need to remove them, you can remove them from here, or you can do the uninstall. I would recommend doing the uninstall completely first and then just rerun it. Now remember, you do not need to uninstall NinjaTrader, you just need to uninstall AlgoBox and run through the installer, okay? Like this, so that everything, they're all either all together, or you can press 1 button, all these can get grouped together, or you can press 1 button and then all of these will go back to back to back by 1 tick, or you can have them every other tick. And imagine these being absolutely perfect up on top by pressing a single button. Pretty cool. So that is coming out in the next release as well. That's okay. So one of the things you're going to notice is all of your charts are going to load a lot faster. Let's go to like a big one, 4K, full 20 charts. Let's launch this up here. We'll go ahead and do an update and everything. Andrew, you excited about that one? Yeah, you do that manually. Yeah, again, I'm really going to try to eliminate. Nobody's going to have an excuse for fidgeting around with their charts, not even with your targets. You're going to be able to press 1 button. 1 button. To auto spread. So we'll have auto spread and auto group. So what about stops? How many of you got all your stops all down there and they're all looking crazy and stuff, and you want to instantly loop them together? Well, you can press a break even button, but what about when the trade's working against you? It's not, you can't press a break even. You need to get them together. You need to adjust. You need to, you know, whatever you might need to do. And maybe you want to set it exactly 10 ticks away. How about that? Lock it in. You only want to risk, like, okay, I'm at the end here. I'm risking 10 ticks. Boom, press a button, 10 ticks. You got another button that says maybe do it 20, or it's parameterized, so you'll be able to set it to 10 or 20, whatever you need, depending on the, you know, obviously where their chart entry is. But auto group, that'll be cool for the stops. And then spreading your targets. Those of you guys who have been around us for a while, knowing how we enter in with multi-contract, that's going to be super helpful. Andrew says, you have no idea how much I want that added when it comes to spreading them out. Yeah, no joke. Don't fart with the chart. That's right. Okay, so yeah, so launch times will be a lot quicker. We have a new calc method. Let's go up here into my YM chart and let's take a peek at some of the new indicator settings. There are, you'll notice the volume profiler has some new visuals. I think are pretty handy, pretty nifty. There is a new calc override right here. So we created our own calc method. Now, there are some drawbacks. The reason NinjaTrader has not added this in the past, there's pros and cons to everything, right? But we know which indicators need some help and others that maybe you don't need to calculate on every single bar, maybe you don't need to calculate on every single tick, etc., etc. One of those examples is the J-hook, for instance, right? J-hook is a very large pattern setup, so why not take some of that calculation power off? And what we currently have it set to is 3000. This is in milliseconds. So this will, yes, it will recalc after a bar close, whatever you've got down here, so be careful that you have that set properly. But it will also check, though, to make sure that it has been at least 3 seconds in this case, because we have the calc interval to 3 seconds. Now, again, you can change that to your heart's desire. This is for those of you who have slower machines, or if your machine is having some issues, we've got this to do a double check, so it will not run the code logic on every bar. And now, where does that help? Well, let's say you're down on the ones on the ES or some other instrument, and the market just blares out, just blasts, you know, 100 bars, just in a second. Well, all of a sudden your computer starts falling behind, your computer's lagging, it's trying to catch up, and yeah, you know the drill, right? So this will stop some of that. We do do a lot of calculations, so we've got that on several. That calc override is now available on the majority of all of our heavy-hitting algorithms inside the system. Now, some you don't want to do that. Alpha, Mega, for instance, things that have to do with order flow, you're not going to want to do that. Enigma, for instance, you are not going to want to do that. Internally, it has some... it's got order flow components in it, so there are things that you don't want to do that on. Some others that you might not want to. I was originally putting it even on the open, high, low, close, but open, high, low, close, you start to get little gaps. Like visually, it's not the most appealing, because all of a sudden you'll start to kind of get some gaps and stuff, because as the bars print, it won't calculate, it won't draw things. Same things with the Bollinger Bands. So the Super Bowls right here that we use with our special touches. Yeah, you'll have some gaps in these if you don't have it set. Well, basically if you do the calc override and it doesn't calculate, well, it won't draw it either, so you'll have some gaps in there, things of that sort. So I've got all of the settings the way that I believe they need to be, so that's why I keep coming back to, when in doubt, use my settings. And if you want to apply the templates to any chart you have, that's fine. What I would just say is, if you're making your own, take a screenshot of whatever section you need to, and then take a screenshot of the settings and then copy those to yours. Okay, that's what I would recommend. And if they're not the same, yeah, kind of don't bug our tech support too much with it. Just know that they're set to the ideal. I spent literally about an entire day going through every single setting in every single workspace we have, and you can imagine that is quite monotonous. And yes, it was, but I did it over the weekend. Hopefully you guys we'll appreciate it and like it. This one we've got set to 1500 there. You can see on Favela Dots. Again, another one of those that's like a structural based thing. Takes advantage of that, and that is a huge lifesaver for you, as you know that those have a ton of calculations internal, so that is going to help you out. Some of those, the belts, we've got the button panels, we dropped that last time. Definable performance interval, we did that, we talked about that. The MACV divergences, we put those on hold. Feature enhancement, psychology module, saves configured state. Yes. Okay, so let's go back to our psychology module here. You'll notice that as I launched this, and if you launch it on your PC, you will notice that you already have some X's on your screen after hours here. Now, why would that be? Because the speed is super, super slow. The BB looks good. Shoot, what's BB? It's too late for me, man. I'm tired. Not got much sleep this weekend. What is the BB? The BB looks good. Those BB looks good. I'm not sure what that is. Oh, Bollinger Bands. Bollinger Bands. Oh, yes. So we do have some different colorings. We got some new colorings there for you guys as well. Should stand out a bit more on the Bollinger Band touches. And if you're new with us, you may not know, but as you touch those, you can actually see them change color. So as we hit, there's a green touch, there's a red touch, and those are standing out a bit more as well. Okay, what was the other? I do apologize tonight. I have not gotten much sleep the last few days trying to finish this out and get it going. Psychology module. Yes, psychology module. So these will stay to whatever setting you set them to. Now, if you want to turn them off, you will actually have to go to the parameters of the speedometer in the psych module to do that. So if I wanted to change that, right click, go to indicators, and you can basically lock it to whatever you want. You can also turn it off anytime you want by selecting the buttons out there. But if you look into the parameters now on the speedometer, you'll see a grouping right here. And there's your bot, right? Just joking. BOT though, background, overlay, or text. So there's your bot, background, overlay, or text inside of the psychology module, and those will actually stay if you have these selected. So right now I have these selected for you. If you want to select the background color change, you can do that. We also fixed the background change if whereas before there was a bug that would not allow you to keep a background image. So if you've got one of those cool background images that you drop onto your background, it will switch that back to the background as long as the background option is selected right here. Okay, and inside of that parameter section it will actually keep that for you. Okay, so make sure you check that off. If you want the background, you'll still need to go into properties, go to the background image right here. If you select background image, it will allow you to select any background image. So if you want to make your charts look cool, awesome. So that will change your background color as well for you if the speed is not good. Okay, and of course you can turn them off at any moment if you're like, yeah, I know it's slow, Vinny, but I want to take this trades right now and I want those out of my way. No problem. You want to turn it back on? Cool. Click, click. No problem. Okay, so I've got the text down there. That's the do not trade at the bottom. Turn it off if you just want the X. This is my preferred. I like it to literally scream at me and say do not trade, and that one right there. You'll notice that is pretty common along the majority of our workspaces. So now I'm going to go ahead and launch the Enigma 4K screen, and you're also going to notice that I'm not even going to close my other ones, because I am telling you that now with all the performance enhancements that we have made, now your machine, well, even mine, I'm running on a 10900 here with you guys on the streaming machine, and look at this, it's all running just fine. Look at how fast that launched up. Isn't that cool? So the performance is now, well, it's just really good. Let's put it that way. Enigma screen light, and this is with contract expiration. Look at that, rolling over, pulling the data, slapping it on there. Pretty awesome. There's the lightest standard 1080p. We've got 4K light. So this might be my new favorite layout. If you're on a 4K screen with our standard layout, this allows you the primary three what I kind of call the flag layout, because it feels like a flag to me, because it's kind of like you got a pole on the left, and then you kind of got the two halves for each instrument. So this layout right here at 4K allows you to see 4 instruments simultaneously. Correlated instruments, Dow, ES, Nasdaq, Russell, all right here. There's your 4. And you see the forexes that are turned on right now. Oh, awesome, Cody. Someone said, Vinny has motivated me to be a better person and also draw closer to God, also become smarter and study more. Code red. Awesome, Code. Thanks for sharing that, my friend. Yeah, you'll definitely want to download this latest one. Yeah, fast and easy to load. LFG. Yeah, baby. Someone asked, when the local version of AudioBox comes, I recall end of year, is it a good idea to turn them on for all 4 instruments to simulate the AudioBox room? No, it doesn't work like that. We'll have to go over that when that happens. That's why I want to make sure that we've got that ready to go in that release. It is not the same. We have that mixed on our server side where you get a proper mixing. If you put on all 4, it will be nuts. You will, at that point, we'll talk about it, but you'll need to select an instrument for you to run off of. So yeah, we'll talk about that when that comes. I've been trying to decide how I want to put that interface together. We may get some feedback from our members on what that's going to look like. At the same time, again, we really want to keep things pretty nice and clean. The whole idea behind AudioBox is to have something that doesn't have a visual, like another visual in your face. You want something that you can just hear, listen into, feel it, and know it. So we're going to be doing some extensive planning around this. You do want to make sure that you get AudioBox. Well, you want to join us before we drop that. I'm not sure when we're dropping it. Obviously, Black Friday is coming up there at the end of the year. If you are in before that end of year offer, you'll get AudioBox included. If you don't, it'll kind of be like there's a competitor of ours called Tick Strike out there. Our system, quite frankly, is better, but they charge monthly. We will have a monthly charge on ours as well, just for how that works. So if you are joined in with the AlgoBox team before that, though, if you're in right now, you're grandfathered. So you're already going to get the AudioBox included. So yeah, at least as of right now. We'll see how that goes when we start to drop it, but there will be a huge advantage if you are in with us right now. Okay, so other items. Psychology stays. Did I mention that it stays? That if you close it out, whatever you change and set, that it'll stay. Whereas before you used to have to turn it back on and off, all that kind of stuff. That's the main enhancement there. Bugs the MACV deviations. Yes, we were having some issues with that. So now you can put the deviations back on. Let me make this large. I'm going to do a copy of my workspace because that's the proper way to do it, right? Save as. I'm going to call this temp 1 tonight. And I'm going to zoom in on the MACV here. I'm going to give us some more days of data. All right, so if you have been following along with us, you will know the importance of the histogram and the masher and all that down below. I just noticed my colors are a little weird on the live stream. I'm not sure if these. I'm gonna have to check the stream afterwards. I had changed some colorings, and it looks like overly vibrant on the live stream. It doesn't look that bright on my screen. So okay, so on yours it does not look as bright as it is here on the screen. I may have to pull that color filter back off. It looks a little oversaturated on the live stream there. Okay, sorry. So let's turn on deviations. This was enhanced recently. We'll go back into our indicators, come down here to the Vinny's MACV entry system. So I don't have them turned on by default. They can be a little bit distracting. I personally like to draw these by hand. However, if you're on a budget of time, show deviations can help you out. Let me show you what that will do. So I'm gonna go ahead and select show deviations, not to be confused with divergences, not the same thing. Whoops. There's one more setting in there we have to change. So on those deviations, I've got to change the settings here. So uppers, let's set them all to 2. And if I want to have the 2s, again, mind you, do this with caution. If your PC can handle it, okay, I may want to do another one. That one loaded pretty quick. Let's add another one. I'm going to duplicate in a new tab. And let's say this one, I might want to have the 3 range. Those of you guys who have watched me on my live streams, using that particularly around the Enigma is handy. Let's go here and let's add the Enigma while we're here to use some examples. Let's try that one more time. There we go. All right, we got some Enigma showing up in there. Okay, so before, when you would switch between tabs, we started having some issues with the buttons over here on the right. Some of you guys were reporting that the buttons seemed a little bit skewed. That whole thing is fixed and arranged, so now you should not have any issues, even switching between tabs. I can do a higher time frame, so if I wanted to, let's duplicate that one more time. But then let's say that I want to see the MACV. So I'm going to load a template. And I'm gonna load the, let's go Tide. We'll go all the way to Wave, sorry. So I go to Wave and let's put this on, say, like the 24 range. Not enough days here, that's okay. So you'll notice that I can now still hop between these and it does not affect the entry window. So how does this help you? If you are running, say, on a laptop and you wanted, you want all of the charts there, but you just don't have the screen real estate, you can technically put all of our time frames. So let's say that you put 5 time frames down here. You can have the Tide, the Wave, the MACV, the Ripple Large, and Ripple Small across here. And again, I don't recommend it doing this way. I know, like, a lot of people just like one single chart stuff. I get that. I don't recommend it. I think it's better to see all the stuff in front of you at the same time. That's my personal suggestion. However, our system is becoming so powerful now. Glance up at a higher time frame, come down here, take the trade on a lower time frame. There's lots of cool little options there, but this was kind of hindering people from being able to do that. Recently, that is now fixed as well. Okay. All today. Will you still need to set the affinity processors? No, but I do recommend Quick CPU. Let me show you guys that one. I use this myself. Very handy. I think the primary issue with particularly the i9 series is the massive core parking that goes on if you're trying to get the juice out of your computer, and in full swing. All right, so basically, if you have not seen the video on this, go up there, click this button. That's the short of it. It's on the left hand side of Discord, down in the lounge area, I believe, to get information around this, or it's under trader feedback, one of the two. But yeah, I'm just going to click on accept right there. That puts it at the max. Now, no longer having any core parking there. And what you'll notice if you go to your task manager, that you will get much less fluctuations in your gigahertz speed. So you can kind of stay stabilized. Again, I'm on a 10900, so about 5.1 is my max. So I'm right there at about 5.1 there on my machine, and it stays stable and you don't get all those crazy fluctuations. Quick CPU, big handy there. You should go ahead and run the high priority. High priority is still a good deal, especially if you're running other stuff on your machine, but hopefully you have a dedicated machine, and even that's not that vitally important. However, if you are a multitasker, or if you've got, I have seen some people who are still using TD Ameritrade for their stock stuff and whatnot, or other platforms, then you'll want to make sure you're running NinjaTrader in the high priority option. We do have a bat file in your NinjaTrader folder. You can just click on that. Make sure you're running the new one. Actually, let's show that here real quick. So inside of your NinjaTrader 8 folder, under your documents, there are 2 BAP files in there. We still have the old one in there. So we have AlgoBox Clean, High Priority Startup. Make sure you do the one that says New. Okay, the new, that is the new NinjaTrader with the login, as well as the non-login. This has to do with, they have completely converted over to 64-bit. There is no longer a 32-bit at all. So the folder structures that NinjaTrader changed, again, they made a lot of changes recently this year particularly. So we are all kind of caught up with that with them. But yes, run the new one, and that will clean out all of your cache. It'll clear the cache folder, the log files. It will clear out everything except for your database. You'll still need to do the database cleanup. That's separate, but that will help you out with the data side of things. So there's a separate video on how to clear your database. You should do that once a week or so, especially if you're doing a lot of market replay, doing a lot of tons of trades. That's all going to get up into that database. So clear the database on occasion. But this one right here, clean, high priority startup, just double click it, boom, does a lot of things, makes that super simple for you to relaunch your NinjaTrader. In fact, I'll show you that real quick. Let's close out. Yes to all. And I'm going to run this new high priority startup. You'll notice that all of the data is gone, and it will cause it to relaunch, but it's going to clear out all that stuff in the cache, day, minute, tick, temp file, trace, log. All of that gets removed, and then we launch NinjaTrader 8 in high priority on your PC. Now, especially helpful for people like myself if I'm out here live streaming with you guys. So now there's no data there, and yeah, so it kind of clears everything out. If you're having any issues, that is super handy. Make sense? An i9 12900KS runs pretty sweet. Yeah, very good. Yeah, the 12 series is awesome. And now with AlgoBox, the latest version, you can kind of run this on just about anything. I mean, I'm gonna knock on wood here, but I'd like to have some people that maybe have a lower end machine. Those you guys with like an i5 or an i7, I'd like to get some feedback from you guys. So put it down in the comments down below under this video, and let me know there in Discord chat if you can tell the difference, if everything's working real nice for you there on even as low as an i5. Now with the new calc methods and some of the other stuff that we have done, we really focused in on this most recent release on the technical debt. I would call it technical debt. Things that you move fast, break things, you're moving forward, adding features, enhancements. It's not exactly the coolest, thing to be like, oh, look, it's faster. So you come back and you do that when you can, and we just were able to smash that in this latest release. So there we go. There she is in all the glory. I still think that the 4K Lite is pretty darn sweet. With the 3 charts per instrument, it's going to give you 12 charts there for a 4K screen. That's this one right here. Now, this does not have the Enigma added to any of these charts, but you can add that quite easily. I forgot, I told you guys I was going to show you. If you've got your charts all arranged in the way that you want them, just apply a template. Now, you need to become familiar with our chart types. So if you are brand new with us, this probably isn't going to mean a lot to you, but if you've been around a while, you know the names of our charts, and you do need to, learn that, go through our training, understand what a tide, a wave, a MACV, a Ripple B, Ripple A, know what those are. There's not that many. There's maybe just over a handful of chart types, but each one of them has a template. So if I right click and go to templates and click on load, this is our template load list right here. Okay, this is the sum total of all of the chart types that we have. If you don't know what they mean, ask somebody. Okay, I got one in here from our member Rain. That's extra. That's one of our members had sent me something to look at there, but everything else in here, yeah, full light, light 2, big 2. Again, feel free to play with these. You might want to go and, if you want to become fully familiar and engrossed in your tools, know what each one of these does. There are some differences. So this one here, for instance, they're the same, but with the B, it has the background image on it. I wish it would have kind of wrote in background, because I forgot that could be confusing with Ripple entry B versus A, because that stands for big here, but here it stands for background. So that's the Cyborg with the cool background feature. Yeah, so go check those out. I feel like I covered a lot there. We will do a more official video around this, and it will be on the website, but this one will suffice for now so that you guys can get started ASAP. All the new tools, all the extra speed, all that juice. Somebody said, wow, that's way faster. Yeah, did you launch it up? I can tell. I can tell somebody just launched it. Excellent, excellent. Love it. Alrighty then. Thanks for hanging out here with me tonight. We got the new edition out there. I plan to live stream tomorrow with the new stuff. So come hang out. I'll catch you guys in the next one. For me, Pippi, Robbie, Lunchbot, Mod Squad, Curtis, G, and the rest of the gang, I am sitting out in the big H-Town. See ya.